Um, Hello everyone. So today I will be presenting my Heritage Fair project. This year I've decided to do my Heritage Fair project on the famous Canadian ballerina Karen Kane. Some of you might be wondering who she is. Well, Karen Kane was the artistic director for the National Ballet of Canada and trained in the National Ballet of Canada for 28 years before retiring and becoming the artistic director. She was born on March 28, 1951 in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Her love for ballet started with when her parents had taken her to a show called Giselle when she was just 9 years old and started ballet ever since. I have a quote here from Karen Kane that says, "When I grow up, I'm going to be a ballerina. I will be in Giselle. It will be so much fun being a ballerina." This quote is also my primary source. Karen has performed in many ballet productions, but Swan Lake is her first ballet production she's ever been in. My research question for this project is, how does Karen Kane's artistic direction in the National Ballet of Canada affect how Canadians see ballet? Well, Karen Kane had 3 goals for the company. They were to, quote unquote, to return the company to international stages, to attract the world's greatest choreographers and dancers, and to cultivate Canadian talent. Karen Kane has achieved these goals for the company, but also done more outside of these 3 goals. She has helped students with her mental health in ballet and has also tried to give more opportunities for Canadians to see the company's ballet productions. So since Karen Kane has helped achieve these goals, the National Ballet of Canada is now more well known and loved among Canadians. She has also brought light onto how hard these ballerinas have to work. So Canadians now see hard-working dancers, unlike how some people see perfect, pretty dancers. My secondary source are these postage stamps that Karen Kane were made to honor Karen Kane's legacy. My two artifacts are the ballet dress, which is made because this was the first ballet show that she got to watch. And then this is the Swan Lake, which is the first production she starred in. I also have the book that she wrote, The Nutcracker, in 2006 over there. And then I have point shoes to just represent the dancing, because that's what they wore when they danced on stage. And then, yeah, okay. Hope you learned more about ballet and Karen Kane. Thank you for listening.
That was great, Chloe. Thank you. So what made you decide to do this topic? I know you dance yourself, right?
I think I wanted to take like a different perspective on her way, and just a different perspective on like, I also wanted to focus more on like Karen Kane and what she has done and less of who she is, because I think that's really important too. So, and obviously I have a passion for dance too, so I thought it would be really good to take my passion and kind of turn it into a project, so then I can be like really passionate about it and really want to learn more about her.
Okay. So when you came into this project, how much did you know about Karen Kane and what she had done?
I knew she was like a famous Canadian ballerina, but I didn't know how much she had done to kind of help Canada, and how much she had done to and just how much she had done in general, because I always thought of her as a ballerina who just danced and just kind of was really good at dancing. But after looking at how many things she has done, it really just changed my perspective on like who she is and just what kind of person she is.
So what's the most interesting thing that you learned?
I think it was how she helped students with their mental health, because in an interview she talked about um, how she was like giving hiring counselors for the National Ballet of Canada, because mental health is so important these days. She wanted to make sure mental health was really important at National Ballet of Canada, and I think that's something that was really interesting because that's not like a take that a lot of ballerina schools would normally like put. So
Mhm. Did she struggle with her own mental health? Is that why that was so important to her? Or was it just something she saw a need for in the community?
I think it was a bit of both, but I think she also struggled with mental health a lot because she quote unquote grew to fame really, really quickly. And that put a lot of pressure on her mental health. And not only that, the National Ballet of Canada would like weigh each student. And at a very young age, she was weighed and called overweight. So I think she really wanted to make sure students have like a safe place to go when they go to ballet.
Yeah, that seems to be something that's common in ballet and gymnastics and things like that. Do you think it's changing now?
Um, I don't I don't see it changing completely. But I think there are like different ways, and I think there are now more people wanting to help change that in society.
Mhm. I think we saw that, I'm blanking on her name, Simone Biles in the Olympics. Yeah. Okay, I've got my questions up here, so if I'm looking off to the side, that's what I'm looking for. What was one challenge you encountered when you were doing your research?
I think it was mostly about finding information about uh, I think it was finding information about. I actually didn't really get a lot of barriers or like any restrictions when going to information because I think she's so well known that like a lot of people want to write about her and a lot of people have sources about her. So I actually think it was quite easy getting information about her.
Okay. What was the most valuable source that you found?
I think it was the website that I went to, which is like the National Ballet of Canada's like actual website, which kind of like starred her pretty much because they were talking about her retirement and just kind of about her like the timeline and like what she's done throughout her career. So I think that was really valuable.
Cool. What research skills did you learn through the development of your project that you think will help you in the future?
I think learning to source properly with the information that I learned because without doing that in the future, then I could get like plagiarism.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, I think that was one really important thing that I learned.
Definitely something that'll help you in the future, knowing how to cite things properly. Where did you find the primary sources or secondary sources more useful?
I think I found actually for me, I found the secondary source more useful just because my secondary source was the post stamp, and that was kind of like cool to like actually get something that she like was honored by, and it was nice to kind of see and like look at the information, and I think that was really really helpful for me.
Cool. Why is your topic so important and significant in Canadian history?
I think there are actually a lot of ways she is important, but I think the main one is how how she kind of almost made her company look like I wouldn't say standard, but like how she kind of changed the perspective on Canadians of how they kind of saw ballet in general because there are so many ballet companies out there. So I think it's how she made the companies look like they really like work so hard to do such a great to put on such a great production. And it really just changed how they saw ballet and how they saw the National Ballet in general. So.
Okay. And you said that was one of her goals to get the National Ballet back on the world stage. Do you think she accomplished that?
100%, yeah. The company has gone on multiple tours now. So I think, yeah, she really achieved that goal.
That's great. Did working on this topic change your perspective on some issues?
Yes, I think it really changed my perspective on, honestly, it really changed my perspective on her too, like on Karen Kane herself and the National Ballet of Canada too, because I was a ballerina, so I knew how hard they worked and how hard they had to like work to get to their goal of becoming a ballerina. But I think the main perspective that really changed for me is how Karen Kane is as a person. because she's not only a ballerina, she is like a really strong woman who fights for rights and just is really strong and wants to help the community.
Very cool. So you said that you've got the dresses there. Did you make those dresses or did you find them somewhere?
I made those dresses, but the mannequins are bought.
Can you show us? Can you bring them closer to the camera so we can see the dresses?
This is the Giselle one.
That's really pretty.
And then this is the swan.
Wow. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So I noticed you've got, it looks like stage curtains on your board. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the design of your board?
Yes, sure. Okay. So the stage curtains were made because obviously ballet productions and shows. And it also kind of represents how big and grand ballet is. And yeah, and then the lights on the top are almost like I wouldn't say a Broadway show, but like when you like come into ballet, you kind of get that wow factor and you kind of get that like wow, they're so good, and just kind of like um yeah, like they're really good and just a big grand gesture. So I think that's why I decided to make it so like grand, because I wanted to represent how like the first reaction when you come into a ballet production, and just like how cool everything was.
Cool. And what's that book that you've got there?
This one?
Yeah.
I think it's the rewritten version by Karen Kane, The Nutcracker, which she wrote in 2006.
Oh, cool. Okay. I think we've answered most of these other questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me that I haven't asked you yet? No? All right. Chloe, thank you so much for sharing your project with us. It's been lovely. I learned so much about Karen Kane.
Thank you.